The Yankees' top prospect gets a big promotion from high A to double A. Griffin Herring wins Pitcher of the Month in the Florida State League. And Spencer Jones continues to have a home run barrage in double A. All of that and more right here on your Yankees Prospect Report. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ryan Garcia. This is Fireside Yankees. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Really appreciate your guys' continued support. And make sure to check out our other social media pages on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and, of course, this YouTube page, all under the handle at Fireside Yankees. Again, links to everything will be in the description below. Let's get started here talking about Single A. I know the Florida Complex League had their season debut this weekend, but we're going to hold off on talking about that until next week because we'll have more games to talk about. And at this level, look, the Yankees have not had a great amount of players perform at a high level. The Tampa Tarpons have really struggled, and their offense in particular has been pretty bad. And Dylan Lewis had a big week, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. He was off to a slow start. He's kind of the lone offensive contributor worth noting from this past week. Again, it just hasn't been a great year for the Tampa Tarpons offensively, but there really isn't a lot of talent that the Yankees have imported to the Single A level to start the year. So it's kind of understandable. Most of their talent is in either high A or double A right now. And some of their top young guys in terms of international free agents are still in the FCL or the Dominican Summer League. So that's pretty understandable. On the pitching side, Griffin Herring just had another phenomenal start. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run. That came on a solo home run. No walks and 11 strikeouts. He took the loss in this outing, but man, was he incredible. He won Florida State League Pitcher of the Month for the month of April. He has been incredible this year. He's pitched in 5 starts, 30 innings, 39 strikeouts, a 0.60 ERA, a 32.4% strikeout rate, an 8% walk rate, a 51% ground ball rate. This guy has been nothing short of incredible for the Yankees. And honestly, it's hard to look at him and not think that this guy could be in high A really any day now. I personally think he's deserving of a promotion to high A, and we'll talk about some of the guys in high A who could be due for a promotion soon to double A. But ultimately, look, Griffin Herring is a truly, and I mean truly phenomenal pitcher to watch right now. His command is excellent. He knows to throw his fastball up in the zone. It doesn't have great velocity, but the vertical movement on that pitch is brilliant, and the extension he gets on it is also brilliant. Furthermore, he has a great, tight, high-spinning slider, an excellent kick changeup that has good vertical drop, and his arsenal just has so much synergy. The changeup and the slider work really well off the fastball. They move in opposite directions, but the horizontal movement difference isn't big enough where right-handed batters are easily picking up whether he's throwing a slider or a changeup. His fastball is a pitch that pairs really well with the changeup, but also pairs well with the slider because it can attack the top of the zone, and then can go to that slider in the bottom of the zone, whether it's against a lefty or a righty. His fastball gets a lot of whiffs. His slider gets a lot of whiffs. His changeup gets a lot of whiffs. This is a guy who's been excellent at LSU. He was incredible at LSU. He was one of their, if not their best pitcher last year. And this year, he has been the Yankees' best performing minor leaguer, not relative to level in terms of like if you wanted to adjust for difficulty, or I guess the term would actually be relative to level. If you want to just ignore competition, Griffin Herring has been their best performing pitcher across the entire organization. So really, really impressed with what I've seen from him so far. There are a couple of things I think he's going to continue to work on. He talked about on this podcast that his velocity tends to get better as the season goes on. So hopefully in like July or August, we start seeing some more 91, 92, 93. Because if he's sitting closer to 92 miles an hour than 90 miles an hour, that extension adds about a mile per hour to that fastball. Then it's going to feel like 93. If his fastball has a perceived velocity of like 93 miles an hour, he's going to be devastating because, again, all of the traits of his fastball are elite. The only trait that isn't elite is his fastball velocity. And then his secondaries, I think he has 2+ secondaries, 60 grade secondaries, I think is a fair way to evaluate those 2 pitches. And if you have 2 60 grade secondaries, a 50 grade fastball that, maybe can get to that, 50 to 55 grade fastball range, then we're talking about a pitcher who could be really successful. Do I think he should add a 4th pitch? I think that could happen at some point, but you don't want to spend your entire minor league season, especially your first pro season, trying a billion different things. You want to get comfortable, get acclimated, and then maybe make some adjustments from there. But so far, so good for Griffin Herring, who again has been remarkable at single A. Moving on to high A, we have a nice cluster of top performers here. Labar Jr. had 8 hits, 4 doubles, 5 RBIs. He was promoted to Double A after a remarkable start to his 2025 season. He had more walks than strikeouts. He had the highest qualified on-base percentage for any hitter at the high A level at .495. He has hit 6 doubles in his last 8 games. The power's starting to show up. The RBIs, that's not a stat that you really look at for prospects or you really care for in general, if you ask me. But it's still cool to see that he's driving in runs. It's cool to see that he's doing damage on contact. He's making good swing decisions. He's not striking out a lot. He's working his walks. He's taking his walks. He's been really, really impressive. He's a strong defender at short. He's going to probably be a strong defender at third if he has to move there. His base running value, he's an incredible base runner. So Labar Jr., really, really happy with what we've seen from him through this point of the season. And hopefully we continue to see this type of performance in Double A, because if he has a strong start to his Double A career and sustains it, he could be a big leaguer sooner than people think. But I will say, have some patience. He's 19. He'll be the youngest hitter in the Eastern League. Don't look at him to be someone who's dominating in Double A through his first 2 or 3 weeks. I look at him more as he's going to struggle. He's going to get his licks in. He's going to make adjustments, and he's going to improve as a result of the challenge he's being presented with. Jay Savino picked up 7 hits, an RBI, 2 walks, 3 doubles. In this past week, he was really good as well. He's been an excellent hitter for the Hudson Valley Renegades. And then on the pitching side, because we always want to talk about the pitching, Carlos LaGrange, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He has been utterly dominant at high A ever since a really bad first start. He's a strikeout machine. He throws 102 miles an hour. He sits about 98, 99. Tons of extension, good fastball shape, good secondaries, the slider, the sweeper, the changeup. Those pitches are really good. So Carlos LaGrange, 2 thumbs up. This guy throws rockets. And he's got really good secondary stuff. So he's someone that I really look at and go, this guy could be a top 100 prospect when we look at the midseason rankings that come out on Baseball America and MLB Pipeline. For Bryce Cunningham, who I think has been, about as good as anybody at the high A level, he has 6 innings pitched in his last start, 4 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He continues to be an absolute workhorse for the Hudson Valley Renegades, another guy who's averaging about 6 innings per appearance. He didn't strike out as many guys as you usually see, but still the kind of pitcher who can rack up whiffs, who can pitch deep into games, who can, coax soft contact. The fastball's got 7 feet of extension, 94 miles an hour, good vertical ride, good changeup, a really good changeup, good slider, good curveball. I mean, I think he's got 4 average to above average pitches with a true plus pitch in that changeup. As for Elmer Cruz, he was acquired from the Boston Red Sox for Carlos Narvaez. He's delivered 5 2/3 innings hit, 1 hit, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He can top out at 99 miles an hour, sits closer to the mid-90s. He's got a really good 2-seam fastball, a nice splitter, a really good sweeper, the curveball. He's got a cutter, a 4-seamer. He's got such a wide array of pitches. Elmer Cruz is the kind of guy that I look at and go, the pitch diversity, the arsenal depth, the pitch quality. If you look at just pitch to pitch, assess each pitch. Again, we're talking about a guy who has, maybe 4 average to above average pitches. And that's a big plus. The Yankees have shifted him away from his 4-seam fastball, which didn't have great shape, and more to that 2-seamer. That 2-seam fastball is devastating. Good horizontal movement, good lateral run. It gets a lot of ground balls. Elmer Cruz is a ground ball rate north of 50% while striking out north of 30% of the batters he's faced this year. So it's a devastating combination of just really good strike throwing abilities, really good swing and miss numbers, good called strike rates as well, and a really, really, really good ability to limit damage contact. So far in the season, he's thrown 279 strikes out of 448 pitches. That is a 62.3% strikeout rate. So strike rate. So that's really impressive for someone who's dealt with extensive command issues. Extensive. Like last year, it was not great. His ability to throw strikes was certainly not where it should have been. And I think that, again, that ability to command the fastball is making a big difference for him right now. Bryce Warwicker gets a mention as well. Bryce Warwicker was a starter for the Yankees last year, but has moved into a bullpen role. Highly ineffective as a starter last year. Downright atrocious. But as a reliever, this week, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Bryce Warwicker has been one of the best relievers at the high A level this season. Across 9 2/3 innings pitched, 6 appearances. He has a 44.1% strikeout rate, a 5.9% walk rate, and he has a 0.93 ERA, has yet to allow a home run. Tons of called strikes, not a ton of whiffs, which is a bit surprising, but he's certainly racking out the strikeouts despite that. So someone who I've been really, really impressed by. Moving on to Double-A here with the Somerset Patriots. We've got Brent Beck starting things off. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He has been a godsend for the Somerset Patriots. This was probably his worst start, but the right-hander has displayed an ability to attack the zone aggressively, pick up swings and misses consistently. And while, again, the fastball velocity isn't great, the secondaries are pretty good. The curveball's good. The gyro slider's good. The changeup is a pitch that I trust. This is a guy who can, really, really fly through the organization. The Yankees anticipated him to be a fast riser when they selected him in the second round back in 2021, but injuries have really held him back. He's experienced 2 elbow surgeries since being drafted by the Yankees. And, hopefully this is the start of a quick ascent. Given the Yankees' lack of upper-level minor league pitching depth, I wonder if he gets a promotion to AAA soon. Again, he's throwing strikes at a 70% clip, which is just ridiculous. He's walking 4.2% of batters faced, has a lot of home run, has a 26.8% strikeout rate, and a 0.93 ERA through 4 starts. Look, the injury concerns are real, but the on-field performance, you can't question it. I mean, across 14 minor league starts in his pro career, he has been nothing short of absolutely remarkable. So you have to factor in, obviously, 14 starts, not a huge sample size, but in 53 1/3 innings pitched as a pro, a 1.35 ERA, 59 strikeouts, 5% walk rate, 0.34 home runs allowed per 9. So Brendan Beck, someone that I think should get a look at AAA and maybe should get big league shouts at some point this season. On the offensive side, because the pitching just was not great for Somerset this week, Raphael Flores, 10 hits, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, an OPS of 1.118 this week. Raphael Flores was absolutely incredible this week. His numbers from the season are starting to pick up after a slower start. He has been striking out a lot, and that's been a concern for me. I'd like to see that strikeout rate drop. But he has 6 home runs and 9 doubles through 27 games in Double-A this year. He has progressed a decent bit as a catcher, but he still has a lot he has to work on there. He can play some first base in a pinch, so I wonder if the Yankees look at him as more of a first baseman than a catcher. His ground ball rates have lowered. His line drive rate is up. His fly ball rate is up. His pull rate is where it was last year, and he had a high pull rate. Again, the contact percentage has to come back up a little bit. It was at 74% in Double-A last year. This year, it's at 68.8%. I'd like to see that number come back up to at least over 70% because his ability to do damage on contact is truly incredible. Last year, his average exit velocity, 90th percentile exit velocity, and max exit velocity matched up with or exceeded Spencer Jones's in the 2025-24 season. So that's the type of raw power you're talking about here. Fangraphs has him as a 55 out of 60 or 55 present day raw power 60 grade potential raw power grade. I think that's selling him way short, and his game power of 30 out of 45 is just laughable. I mean, his raw power should be, at minimum, in my opinion, a 60 grade. I'd give him a 65 or closer to a 70, and his raw power, I mean, at this point, he's displayed 55 to 60 grade raw power at minimum. So this is a guy who I think gets underrated by a lot of publications. Baseball America does him a little more respect. I have him as a top 10 prospect in the organization. I think Raphael Flores truly mashes. Dylan Jaso picked up 8 hits today. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Dylan Jaso has been awesome for the Somerset Patriots this year. He is a 22-year-old infielder who won't turn 23 until the conclusion of the 2024-5 season. He is slashing .266, .337, .500 with a 141 WRC plus, 5 home runs, 5 doubles, a triple, 25 hits, a 14.4% strikeout rate. His contact percentage is up from 79.3% to 83.9%. His swinging strike rate down from 8.3% to 7.1%. And if you look at the batted ball data, Last year, a 42.4% fly ball rate. This year, a 52.6% fly ball rate. A lot of fly balls, a lot of, just home run contact, damage contact. He's doing a really good job of doing damage on contact, and he's still hitting for decently high average. So when we talk about an increase in game power and an increase in contact rate, especially for a 22-year-old at AA, so not someone who's older than the average hitter. In fact, they're younger than the average hitter at that level. That is really, really impressive. Those are good signals for me. So Dylan Jaso, very impressed here. He will not be Rule 5 eligible until next year, so the Yankees can either see if this is real or a fluke, and then decide whether they would like to sell high or not this deadline, or keep him and still not have to place him on their 40-man roster. So that does bode well for his long-term viability in the organization. Although, again, the Yankees will trade players, even if they're not Rule 5 eligible at the end of the year, if they see fit. I'm just pointing it out to say that he doesn't have to be traded. Spencer Jones had 2 home runs this week, and he has 9 home runs in the season. He has still struggled with the strikeout rate, like his contact percentage, his strikeout rate. They're roughly where they were last year, but the isolated power is way up, the fly ball rate's way up, the production's way up. It's a question of whether he's Joey Gallo or not. And I know that some Yankee fans are going to hear Joey Gallo and go, Joey Gallo, like, is that really the best we can do with a first-round pick? And I obviously am not referring to Yankees Joey Gallo, but Rangers Joey Gallo. And Rangers Joey Gallo was around like a 110 OPS plus hitter who hit, 30 home runs a year, struck out a ton, or 40 home runs a year, struck out a ton, and played good defense in the outfield. And I'm not saying that that's the profile of a perfect player, but that's certainly a profile that works. I mean, it's one that was productive. It's one that, got the Rangers a nice haul for Joey Gallo. So I personally think that Joey Gallo is someone who, I think, look, the Yankees, his tenure with the Yankees was a disaster, but if you want to look at his overall MLB career, 107 WRC plus, 13.1 WAR. He was a overall not great defender by the end of his career. He hit 208 home runs in 939 games. If the Yankees got this offensive production and they got, it out of Spencer Jones, who's a premium defensive player in center field and a better base runner than Gallo is, yeah, that would be a really good outcome. Like the Yankees would be talking about like a 3 to 4 WAR player, maybe a 5 WAR player, depending on how good the defense is in the outfield. And when you're talking about paying rookie salary, like pre-arbitration money for a 3 WAR player, that helps you sign Kyle Tucker. Like that helps you sign Paul Skeens if he's a free agent at some point. Like that's how you land superstars. You land superstars by having good amount of talent around them, cost control talent around them, and then taking that step in free agency to acquire big time, really, really game-changing talent at a position. Moving on to AAA, though, we've got a couple of performers here who were really, really excellent this week. Jesus Rodriguez continues to just hit. He had 8 hits, 2 a double, 3 walks. He only struck out once this past week. His propensity to just put the ball in play, his feel for contact, his ability to do damage on contact at times is really impressive. 157 WRC plus, more walks than strikeouts, 350, 468, 450 slash line. I'd like to see a little more power, but again, I think he's been really impressive. He's someone who could provide some nice at-bats at the major league level in the near future, although I suspect he might be getting traded because he's a catcher who I don't think can translate to third base. I know he's played some third base, but he's only played 1 game there this year at AAA, so I do wonder if the Yankees are a little more pessimistic about his defensive abilities at the hot corner. Though I will say, as a catcher this year, he is allowed 6 steals and he's caught 6 guys stealing and he's only allowed 1 passed ball. So, the throwing and the blocking has been considerably better. Again, the contact rates are high. The line drive rates are high. This is a guy who's got a really good feel for contact, a really good feel for his bat. Was promoted from AA to AAA, like very aggressively, which was a little weird. He really struggled in AA. He was terrible in AA this year and last year, but he's quickly adjusted to AAA, and maybe he's someone who the Yankees have their eyes on and are maybe ticketing as a potential promotion candidate. Again, if the defensive improvements are legit, then that's someone who can be a backup catcher for you and play a multitude of positions. TJ Rumfield picked up some hits this week. He had a really productive week. He kind of slowed down after a really hot start, but he had 7 hits, 3 RBIs, 2 walks. This year, he's slashing 270, 378, 470. More game power, less or slightly more strikeouts. Like there's been a lower contact rate, but he's doing more damage on contact. He's hitting the ball in the air more often. He's pulling the ball more often. He's just been a more productive hitter. He's a really good defensive first baseman. Again, he's someone who I wouldn't rank in my top 30, but he's not someone who like has no business being there. He just isn't in my top 30. He is a fun profile because he's a high contact first baseman. Like you very rarely see those, but the ability to hit for some more game power, the better swing decisions, like he's a little more aggressive in zone. Those are things that are really important to me. A 92% zone contact rate is really, really high. So if he can continue to pull the ball in the air, he's got a 129 WRC plus in AAA this year. I mean, this is not someone who I think teams will be sticking their nose at the trade deadline. I think someone would trade for TJ Rumfield if the opportunity presented itself. As for Shawn Bole, he delivered probably his best start of the season. 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Shawn Bole is someone who I think gets lost in the AAA depth chart. Like in terms of rotation depth, I think he's been their best starter at AAA. He's got a 4.06 ERA. That's better than the league average. It's a 91 ERA minus. He has a 4.46 FIP. Again, 99 FIP minus. That's about league average. A 29.3% strikeout rate. An 8.9% walk rate. That's a 20.3% strikeout to walk rate. A 46.9% ground ball rate. He's getting a lot of swings and misses. Like he's missing a ton of bats. He has a 12.2% swinging strike rate. He has a pretty decent like chase rate. His stuff is playable. Like his fastball isn't particularly hard, but I mean, he's got an interesting array of pitches. The one thing that kind of is his big bugaboo is he allows like a ton of home runs. Like I don't want it to be lost that this guy does give up quite a bit of home runs, but the changeup's good. That new four-seamer he talked about on Fireside Yankees during spring training has been really good for him. He's got a really weird release height. He's just crafty. And I really like that kind of profile of a right-hander who is very crafty and very weird and hard to pick up because, you know, in the absence of velocity, which is the common flaw of a lot of back-end starters for the Yankees and why they're in the situation they're calls Carrasco, good stuff or just having you know, a weird pitch mix or weird arm release traits or pitch traits, that's helpful. It's going to help you win ball games. And if you look at his repertoire, really low release height, really wide release height, that makes that sweeper devastating. The changeup's really good. Sinker's got some good life to it. Four-seam fastball is, again, it's a pitch that I think is better than give it credit for. It's got a decent amount of vertical ride considering it's released from a low release point. And he's getting like a decent, like not like a high amount of whiffs, but he's doing enough with that four-seamer that it's a productive pitch against lefties. So I really like his repertoire as a like swing man, you know, maybe someone who could provide some length out of the bullpen. I think, you know, Shawn Bole has been pretty impressive in AAA this year. Eric Reyzelman, 3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 2 walks, no runs allowed. Reyzelman's command has remained spotty at AAA, but the run prevention's been really good. So, you know, maybe that entices him to throw more strikes and kind of get the ball going there. The absence of command has reflected itself in his swing and miss rates. His swing and miss rates are bottom of the barrel, but again, hasn't allowed damage contact, has prevented runs. This is someone who I just think needs to get their command in place, and then he can really, really hit the ground running and be a potential late midseason call-up for the Yankees this year. With that being said, though, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That'll wrap up our prospect report. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out Fireside Yankees for your weekly prospect reports. If you enjoyed today's video and you like this kind of content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and again, turn on the notification bell. You do not want to miss out on our uploads. We've got an Instagram, a TikTok, a Twitter, a Facebook, and of course, this YouTube page. And again, we'll see you guys in the next one. We love you guys so much. Let's go Yankees, and peace out.
Perfect.